If you follow me on Instagram, you might know that I travel quite a lot. And I like traveling, but I still like to have some kind of computer on hand. Now, I do have my smartphone, but just a computer is always something different and always very handy to have when you're on vacation. While there is the option to use a laptop, but I always like the idea of a mini all-in-one computer. And this is exactly what I'm going to build in this video. Starting with the basis. This right here. This, my friends, is from some kind of German company that has been bankrupt since 2022 maybe. This was for advertisements, therefore it has a compact flash slot right here. But taking a look inside, there is a lot of space in here. And now you see this board here with the reader and everything. And in the past I discovered it doesn't even need that board to work. You can just pull every plug, get it out of here. It will work just fine as a screen, just without the option to put a compact flash card or an SD card in here with some kind of video footage on it, and it will not display because the whole socket board is missing then. And this is exactly what I'm going to do now. And now we have a lot of space in here for some kind of computer. While I do have a much more powerful mini PC than this one right here, the other one that I have will likely not fit in here with the big circuit board. But this one seems to be fitting, I guess. So let's tear this one down as well and get the components inside of here. And in case you were wondering, this has a built-in Intel Celeron N3450 with 4x 2200 MHz with the built-in boost frequency, which is not too bad. It has 4GB DDR3 RAM and 32GB built-in storage, which is not a whole lot. Finally, with some, well, not so gentle pulling with a screwdriver right here, it finally came apart just fine. And I'm actually not the first person to do this. While a lot of those scratches are made by me, definitely not all of them, especially the worst one on this casing. I was a little more careful. I don't know why, because I will not use this case anymore. Yeah, whatever. I'm not the smartest person on the planet. However, you see this right here. Somebody put a 128GB NVMe SSD in here. So somewhere on here there is a chip, maybe right here or somewhere, and this chip has 32GB eMMC SSD storage. Which is nice, you have a little base, but if you need more storage you can just lose 4 screws and yeah, with a little screwdriver pulling you are in here and can add this M.2 SSD. So the next step is to get this circuit board in here. So it's been a while and I did some stuff. This is actually the second time I did all this, just because the first time it just didn't work. So I decided to not use the internal VGA port that the monitor has built in right here, just because in the past I had some trouble with both signals of this VGA port and the internal one bleeding into each other. It wasn't very well done apparently, and so I just decided to not use it. So the cable was cut anyway, so I just soldered it back together and led those wires through here, through those holes right here on the outside, and just connected it to here. This is the power button. It's a very, very fancy construction with this with both those springs right here, and you can just push it in, and those springs are just so that it is sitting, yeah, very tightly and everything's working. So what you do is you just push this down, the spring keeps it in place, and this part right here just touches the little button right here and powers on the PC. It's a very, very nice construction. I'm quite proud of it, I have to be honest. And you have the USB right here. It's connected to the front USB. This is why the PC is like sitting in the middle of the whole device, and I had to make this power on construction just because so that this cable is fitting, and this cable right here too. And this is where my internship in a metal industry very came in handy, because I exactly knew what to do with this. And so I just used some very rough sandpaper and just made some more space right here so that the USB port is fitting, because in the past it just didn't work, so I had to do it. It was very painful, but it worked. Now we have a very solid mechanical connection. I isolated it, but the whole thing is like pushing very hard against this case, and so it's sitting very tight in there. But additionally, there is some hot glue right here and a thick and big piece of tape on there, so that it is really secured in place, because there is just no way of doing it with screws. I tried that, so I had to use this construction. Again, it was painful, but now it's very tight in there. I think it will not break again. So now it's time to try it out for the first time. Let me push the power on button right here. So, you see I have connected this splitter right here, and I don't know why the PC does what it does. It just, when you power it up the first time, it just powers on, powers off, then it powers on again, but it doesn't do anything, and then it powers off, and you have to power it on again. So it behaves a little weird, but yeah, if that's everything, we have like no problem. There you go. The Windows installation on here is very weird. So, well, now. So you can see my mouse is working. I have the cursor right here. And if I click on here, I have my keyboard right here. And I can type on there. So now that I verified it works, I can throw a Linux installation on there and we can finally try it out. Now, as operating system, I used Manjaro XFCE to get the highest performance as possible. Web surfing went very well. Even bigger websites loaded without any issues, and it was quite fun to use. YouTube also went very well. You can connect your headphones via Bluetooth. And you can even watch videos in 1080p without any issues. The only real limitation is the screen. And again, it's the same thing with Office and programming. Works very well, but the screen is just too small and very bad. And so you have to make everything a lot bigger than I would prefer. Just to be able to read the text, which is very annoying in most of these cases. Now the question, can it run Minecraft? Well, on the lowest settings it was playable, but not very fun to be honest, and on servers it wasn't better. So I installed Sodium, which boosts up the performance extremely, and I left all the settings as low as possible, and in a private Minecraft world it was very well playable. Now, in regards to performance, it worked better than I expected from a 10-year-old mini-PC. But still there are a lot of downsides. And this whole project made me realize why we use laptops today and no all-in-one PCs. For example, this all-in-one PC has no built-in battery, which means you can use it in various different locations while always being near an outlet. Additionally, you have to have a separate mouse and keyboard on hand always if you want to use this thing. And in the end, this whole thing just sucks. There are so few use cases for it that it basically renders it unusable and unnecessary. It's just annoying to carry around with all the other accessories and also being near an outlet. It was a very, very fun project, but unfortunately the end result was very bad. Now let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Maybe you have an all-in-one PC at home. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any future projects of me. Thank you for watching and have a good one.